Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Mind the Mental Monday. Hope everybody had a great week. Hope everybody is doing well. Um, we had a Super Bowl. I want to congratulate the Philadelphia Eagles. I'm in a two-bird household. My husband and son are Eagles fans. And I'm a Ravens fan, so I'm with another bird, but for this Super Bowl, I was with the green bird. So I'm actually very happy for them, very happy for the city. Um, I do most of my living in the city of Philadelphia, even though my home is not there. My workplace is there, my church is there, lots of great people, friends that are there. So I was actually very excited. Not excited enough to go to the parade though, because it's just too many people. But just excited for the city and for Jalen Hurts and for the team all together. Uh, Congratulations, Philadelphia Eagles. Um, so yeah, the Philadelphia is all ablaze with all kinds of stuff going on because of the win, but congratulations. I hope everybody is okay. I put a message out. I'll be honest, it was my team that put in a message out this for this morning. Just checking in, just to see how everybody is doing. So let's do our check-in. How are you? Scale of 1 to 10. 1 being terrible, 10 being phenomenal. Where are you in on the scale and how do you feel about where you are? Do you want to do you want to scoot it up a little more if you are not quite at a 10? Where are you mentally today? So we always do that, and the reason for that is it's important to check in with yourself on a daily basis throughout the day, little checks throughout the day, just to kind of get your mind straight, make sure you're not in a place of loss or lack, to try to just make sure you are, in as good of a mental space as you can be. Um, Joy is at a 6. How do you feel about that 6, Joy? Are you good with your 6? Do you feel like 6 is about okay for whatever it is you're going through in life? Um, or would you rather be further along, What steps are you going to take to get to that if you're wanting to do more or get to a 7 or 8, you know? What small steps can you take to get there? So that's always the important part of doing the exercise is assessing where you are, assessing where you want to be, and assessing how the little steps that you can take to get there. So, all right, Joy is okay with the 6 today, and that's okay. It's okay to be okay with your 6. I am um I'm gonna say I'm a 10 today. Well, I'm gonna say I'm a 9. I'm not quite a 10. But what put me at a 9 today is that I got a very special sort of surprise visit from my sister, and who I know will watch this on the replay. She's all in the YouTube episodes of Mind the Mental Monday, and that was a really great. It was just a great day. It was wonderful. It's always great seeing her in person and getting to put my arms around her. And so I appreciate her so much. And so that just really made my day today. So I'm gonna say I'm at a 9. Some other stuff going on that's not so great, but you know what? I'm gonna be good at my 9 today. So all right, so I hope that everybody has come in, whether you're on Facebook or whether you're on Instagram. Thank you for taking time out of your schedule to tune in to Mind the Mental Monday. And for those of you who are diligent watching the replays, whether you watch it on Facebook or Instagram or my YouTube channel, thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you for the comments that you make It really brightens my day when you do that and gives me, thank you for even giving me material to talk about sometimes. I really appreciate that because mental health is health and minding our mental is something that is important for us every single day because, I mean, without our minds, we can't really do anything, right? Like, we can't really do much without our minds. And we have so much more control over our minds, over our thinking, than sometimes we feel like we do. And so it's important for us to exercise that control that we have and utilize it to make the best of our lives. I mean, we know that this thing called life can be a roller coaster, with all kinds of twists and turns, ups and downs, ebbs and flows. It can be quite the roller coaster ride. And we ride roller coasters differently, don't we? Um, you know, some of us love roller coasters, and we're gonna sit at the front. We're gonna put our hands up going down the hill, and scream. Others are gonna kind of close their eyes through the whole thing and just hold on to the person next to them if they know them. There are all kinds of different ways that we ride roller coasters, but in life, this roller coaster called life, the truth is we can't always sit and close our eyes as we're going through the ride. We have to be we might not have to sit in the front seat all the time, but we do have to be present and we have to feel all the feels of it, all the stomach turns and just all the stuff that goes with it. I'm not sure why I use that example. Probably because at once upon a time I loved riding roller coasters. That was like I was in there. We had two different crews in our family: the roller coaster crew and the non-roller coaster crew. I was in the roller coaster crew. I can't do roller coasters anymore because of back injuries, chronic low back pain. So now I just kind of watch other people. But anyway, I kind of digressed, giving people a chance to kind of come in. So before we get into the topic tonight, just I'm going to do my ask up front. Go subscribe to my YouTube channel, Benita Weathers 329. Do it right now, please, if you haven't already. And there you can find all the Mind the Mental Mondays that you may have missed. Go back and listen to them and comment. Let me know what you're thinking about these Mind the Mental Mondays. And I hope that they're being helpful to you. Okay, so tonight, I want to talk a little bit about the fact that two opposite things can be true at the same time. Now, the reason that I thought about this topic is I was talking to a friend who got a really great accomplishment, and I'm really proud of that person, right? Um, but when I spoke with them about it, they said to me, I don't feel like I've done anything to be proud of. And that comment was based on where they find themselves currently. That was based on where they are in their career trajectory, in their job search, where they are just in their life right now. And even though um, they made a really great accomplishment, it wasn't enough to make them feel like they're enough, like they have accomplished something, like they are really, living life out as they should. And I was really just trying to encourage that person that, listen, even if you might be having some kind of a struggle in life, that doesn't mean that you're not accomplishing great things still, right? And even if you're having a tough time, it's important to celebrate the accomplishments. So that's kind of where I'm going with this tonight. With this, two opposite things can be true. Like you can be experiencing a really rough struggle sometime in life, and at the same time, you can accomplish something great. And that great accomplishment might not necessarily bring you out of the struggle, but it is an accomplishment nonetheless, and it is something for which you should be proud. And so I think that a lot of times we sort of look at where we are in life. Again, as I've said many times before, comparing ourselves to others in our cohort, if you will, um, others of those in our surroundings that we think are doing like these great things and who we feel like are at this level where we feel like we should be but are not. We, based on that, we feel like even our small accomplishments don't matter. And I'm here to tell you that every accomplishment matters. Every accomplishment matters, no matter how big or how small. And so it's important to understand that you may do something on a small scale, the same thing that somebody does on a larger scale, and it still is an accomplishment. It still is something to be proud of. It may not bring you out of a dire situation, but even if it doesn't bring you out of a dire situation, it is still something for which you can be proud. So I have a few points that I want to get across tonight. And as I often do, I kind of wrote them down. So if you see me looking down a little bit, you'll see. Yes, sometimes there are points that I want to make, and I want to make sure that I'm making the points because when they're being downloaded, when the Spirit, Holy Spirit, is downloading them to me, I don't want to forget, and so I write them down so that I don't forget because I don't have the greatest memory sometimes. And so I'm one of those people that needs to write it down or, record it or something. I need something that's going to help me remember what the spirit was downloading to me. All right. So I said this a little bit just now, but that's my first point is that you can not be where you want to be in life and at the same time be proud of the accomplishments that you are making where you are. So don't focus so much on where you're not. Focus more on where you are and what you're doing with where you are. What are you doing with where you are? If you feel like you're not at the place where you should be at this stage in life, or whatever the case might be, what, where do you think you should be? One, but two, what are you doing to get there? Again, what are the small steps that you're taking to get to the goal that you're trying to reach? Now, sometimes you might be taking steps and you might feel like you're taking those same steps like over and over and over and over again, and those steps aren't necessarily moving you forward. But I'm here to tell you that every step that you take moves you a step forward to where you're trying to go. There are times where life will force you to to keep trying a thing until you get it. or keep trying to get where you're trying to go until you get there. And even if you feel like you're taking steps and not moving anywhere, understand that even in those moments you're exercising, right? You might not be moving forward or backward or even sideways. You might be moving in place, but even as you're moving in place, you are exercising some muscles. You are strengthening your core. You are strengthening your muscles by continuing to try, continuing to put forth the effort. And I promise you that you will feel mentally, you will feel so much better about yourself if you keep pushing than if you give up. So as long as you're not giving up, because if you give up, for sure you won't make it. For sure. You will not reach your goal. You will not reach whatever destination it is that you're trying to reach. Um, you will not, you will definitely not make it if you give up. But if you keep pushing and keep pursuing and keep moving forward, that is something to be proud of. So keep stepping. Even if you're not feel like you're not going anyplace, know that you are building up resolve. You are building up a temperament. And also it gives you time, even if you're not moving where you want to go, even if you're standing and moving in place, you have time to evaluate if where you're trying to go is where you're supposed to be. Because the truth of the matter is, sometimes we pick for ourselves these places that we think we want to be, and that's not where we were purposed to be. It's not where we belong. And so, yeah, God will allow us to just kind of move in place, but keep moving nonetheless. Move in place until we get to the place where we recognize that, oh, I see. I was trying to do it this way, and God wanted me to do it this way. But none of it is in vain. None of it is in vain because guess what? When you continually move in place, another muscle that gets built up is that muscle that eventually allows you to move further along when you start moving forward because it gives you more energy, it gives you more strength, it gives you more of that rush that says, you know what? If I could do all of that moving in place, if I could build up my core, if I could strengthen my leg muscles, if I could do all that just walking in place, imagine what can happen when I actually start moving forward. Imagine how far I can go when I start moving forward. So the word of God tells us, don't oh, what's the word I'm looking for? The regret is not it, but I'm going to use that word. Despise not the day of small beginnings. Walking in place might be a small beginning, but guess what? That small beginning will ultimately build up to giving you the strength, the energy, the courage, whatever it is that you need to move forward in the place that you're supposed to be. So, so two things can be true. I'm not moving forward. That can be true. But at the same time, I can be building up strength for the move. Y'all hear me? Um, I hope that connected with somebody tonight because I feel like there's somebody who feels like they're moving, but they're not going anywhere. Not understanding that movement, as long as you're moving, that is building you up for something. It's building you up for that forward movement. It's giving you what you need to be strong enough to take the journey that you will take. And sometimes we don't know what the journey is until we get there. And sometimes that's a good thing because if we knew ahead of time what the journey was going to be, many of us would turn around. Many of us wouldn't even take the trip. And so it just gives us time to build up our stamina, to be able to get through the rough terrain in this thing called life that we might have to face as we're on the journey and as we're moving forward to the purpose that God has for us. All right, so that was the first thing. The next thing is, and this is something that I have to really say to myself, it's okay to stop and smell the roses along the journey. It's okay. We know that it's a journey, and we know that a journey requires movement, but it's okay to stop the movement ever so often, pull over to the side of the road, and just stop and just inhale the fragrance of the roses. Or the flowers, or the whatever flower it is that you enjoy, the scent of. It's okay to stop and just breathe. That was the Monday motivation today too on my post. Thank you, thank you, Minister Ebony, for giving me those. It's okay to stop and breathe because the journey is going to throw at us some stuff. Sometimes, we it's like rugged terrain. Have you ever um this is what life can be like. And this is one of those two opposite things at the same time. A couple of years ago, I went on a trip a few years ago now. It was my first girls trip in my life. And it was with my line sisters in Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated. Um, and we were on this beautiful beach, right? With beautiful sand, and the water was like turquoise and pink, which was why we picked that particular spot because it was pink and green. Um, but while the ocean was just so beautiful, right? At the same time, we're trying to walk in the sand. And if you've ever tried to walk in deep sand, it's hard. Like it is really a struggle to try to it's not easy to walk in sand because the sand, when your feet sink into the sand kind of weighs your feet down, and but you got to pick your feet up to keep moving, to walk. And it's hard. And so at the same time that you have this beautiful scenery that you're walking by, it's still hard to walk. The journey is still hard. It's like a duck that's you see, it looks like the duck is just floating on the water, but underneath their little feet are paddling like crazy just to move, just to glide, what appears to be them just gliding across. They are pedaling like crazy just to do that. So the appearances might not be what you think they are. Right? The way things appear are not always the way that they are, right? When anybody who drives, you see that little sticker on the mirror that says, objects in your rearview mirror are closer than they appear to be. It looks like they're further back, but they're actually closer. So be aware, right? Be aware of your surroundings. You might have beautiful surroundings. Enjoy those, right? Enjoy the scenery, but know that as you're enjoying the scenery, you're still moving. You are still you're still on the move. Even when you kind of stop to sort of take in what you've done, what you've accomplished, smell those roses or flowers. I'm going to say flowers. Or some kind of good scent. How about that? Smell it and just and unapologetically allow yourself to do that. To be unapologetic, to unapologetically stop and just take it all in. It's a beautiful thing. All right. The third thing is that life, just having the understanding that life will never be perfect. Nothing in life will ever be perfect, right? So appreciate the perfect imperfections that make your journey authentic and your testimony unique. Yeah, it's not going to be perfect, but it's those perfect imperfections that make us who we are. It's those perfect imperfections that make us unique. It's those perfect imperfections that make us one of one, that make us enough for our journey. Because it's a journey that no one else can bear out. No, there is not a single person on this earth who can bear out your journey. That is something to be proud of. Because I am one of one. I am uniquely me. I am authentic. I am the only one of me. And that is something to be proud of. Regardless of what you might be facing in your life, regardless of what you might be going through, that regardless of the fact that you might feel inadequate, or you might feel like you're not enough, or you may feel like you're not doing things the way that they should be done, or you may feel like you're making all kinds of mistakes. Understand this, that in this journey that is only yours, that is unique to you, you are now able to have on the other side of it a testimony that is going to help somebody else along their journey. And so a lot of times when I share with you all things that, in my journey that I might have gone through, when I just share authentically, when I have those transparent moments, it's because I didn't go through those things just for them to, just for naught. We face the trials that we face in life, we face them for a reason. And everybody has some kind of a struggle, but nobody else has your struggle. Nobody else has your life. Nobody else has your unique experience. No, even it could be similar situations that you might face, but everybody's situation and how they deal with it and how they handle it is unique to them. So you might have imperfections, but those imperfections are perfect for you, because it's those imperfections that are going to help shape you. It's those imperfections that are going to help mold you. It's those imperfections from which you can learn in order to get to this place where you are meant to be. And so again, yeah, they're imperfect. Life is imperfect, but those imperfections are perfect for you, because those imperfections help to mold us and shape us into who we are meant to be. It's that part of life that we don't like, right? Nobody likes a struggle. I don't like struggling. I don't. I wish we could, we could never, that thing in the garden. Yeah, I wish that never. Well, I don't necessarily wish that couldn't happen, because then, God wouldn't have walked the earth with us in the form of Jesus Christ. Um, and I'm glad that Jesus did what he did, because he took on our sins and he died for us and he got up for us and he's coming back for us. So, but it would be great if everything could be perfect. But then if everything was perfect, like how would we know how to be grateful for when we come through those hard times? How would we know? We wouldn't have any hard times. So hard times are necessary. Those kinds of imperfections are necessary for us to grow, right? In order for a seed to bear fruit, that seed has to die. It has to be buried. in the ground and has to die to itself to spring forth the vine that is going to then produce and support the fruit, right? And so again, those imperfections, those hard times can birth so much greatness can come out of hard times. A lot of people who go on to do great and wonderful things, when you hear their story and you hear about their beginnings and you hear about how they started out, it's amazing that they're even still alive. It's amazing that they survived the things that they survived, let alone are able to produce the kinds of fruit that they're able to produce, but they're still able to do it because they've come through storms, they've come through imperfections, they've come through battles, they've come through struggles and they've come through highs and lows. Some of the battles they've won and other battles, they had to go crawling out on their belly, waving the white flag, right? Um, and yet and still, through it all, they were able to make it. And so life is never going to be a perfect. So appreciate those perfect imperfections that help us to grow and mold us into who we're supposed are meant to be. The fourth thing is in the rainy seasons of life, be proud of yourself that you kept driving through the storm. One thing that my dad taught me and my siblings and me is when you're driving through a storm, don't stop. He always said, don't pull over. You might have to pull in the right lane, you might have to slow up, but keep driving because eventually you will drive through the storm and you will get out of the storm. But if you just pull over and you just allow the storm to keep pounding you, and you don't ever try to get through the storm, you just let it keep pounding you, eventually the floods can overtake you. And so keep driving while you can. Keep going through the storm because eventually you're going to get to the other side of the storm. Now, when you get to the other side, you might not get to the other side and see sunshine. Sometimes you'll get to the other side and see cumulus clouds. Sometimes you'll get to the other side and it'll still be dark. This is a fact. A lot of times we think of driving through a storm and then getting through that storm and driving into bright sunshine. But there are times that we're going to drive through storms and it's not going to be sunshine on the other side. It's still going to be some clouds. But guess what? The rain won't be beating down on our heads. And then ultimately, the clouds will clear away for the sunshine. Sometimes we don't immediately get to the sun. That is a part of this journey called life. It is another one of those perfect imperfections that we might encounter that will strengthen us along the way. And so this minding the mental and thinking about your thinking, it's important for us to think about how we think about things, right? We can think, oh man, this rain is pouring down on me and I'm just gonna pull over and I'm just gonna give up. I'm just gonna give up driving altogether. I'm just gonna pull on over here and I'm just gonna stop and just let it come on down on me. Or we can think that we're going to pursue, we're going to drive through, we're going to keep going. Yeah, we might run into some clouds, but we're going to keep going. And eventually we're going to get through. It's all in how we think about it. It's all in how we judge things. It's all in how we look at things. So yeah, two things can be true. The storm is scary, um, and at the same time, we can get through it. It might take some time. We got to slow down, right? We don't press too hard on the gas. Slow it down and just keep moving. And we will ultimately get through it as hard as it might be. Um, and so the last thing I want to share with us tonight, so let me go back through the points again. The first point was you can, on the one hand, not be where you want to be, and at the same time, you can have something that you can be that you are proud of. Allow yourself to be proud of whatever it is um, that you might have achieved, even in those times where you're not doing well. The second thing is it's okay to stop and smell the roses. It's okay to kind of get off the treadmill and stop and take in that scent. Whatever flower you like, pick your flower. I'm saying roses, whatever flower it is, one that smells good, one that just will allow you to breathe. Let yourself do it, to just stop for a minute and take it all in, right? It might not get you out of your dire situation, but yet you made progress. Yet it's something that you did, that you have wanted to do. It's an accomplishment you made. Allow yourself to be proud of it, regardless of where you are in life. The third thing, life is never going to be perfect. It's just not. So appreciate the perfect imperfections that mold us and shape us and make us into who we are meant to be. The fourth thing is in those rainy seasons of life, slow down, but keep driving through. Keep driving through to the other side. And even if you meet clouds on the other side, you still kept moving and gotten through the rain. Even when the first point, even when you're moving in place, even when you feel like your movement is not forward or backward or sideways, you feel like you're just moving in place, it is still strengthening you for the journey. It's strengthening that core. It's giving you that muscle. It's giving you that ability to keep going so that when you do move forward, you will have the strength and the ability you need to get through. And the last thing I want to share with you tonight is a response that one of my dear friends, Michelle Thornhill, put on one of my posts from earlier today that was asking, "How are you doing?" And in her response, she said these words: "Loss and sadness are real, and so are faith and hope." So while at the same time you might be experiencing loss and sadness, at the same time you can experience faith and hope. It's a both and. It doesn't have to be one or the other. It can be both. And so embrace them both. Feel the sadness, feel the loss, feel the pain. And in it, as you're getting through it, as you're navigating your way through it, as you are seeing a therapist, seeing a grief counselor, as you are praying, as you are, going to the beach, as you're relaxing, as you are doing the things to try to help navigate yourself out of or through the grief and loss, which grief is something that will stay with you. You can at the same time experience faith and hope that you can make it in the midst of it. Because guess what? God is with you there. He is with you in the midst of those things that you might be going through. And so I hope that this message tonight has encouraged you. I hope that it strengthens you to understand that two things can be true. Yes, you can be going through a really tough time, and at the same time, you can have faith and hope to get through it. And it might take a while. You might have to drive through the storm for a while before you get to the other side. You might experience some clouds on the other side. Ultimately, you will see the sun again. But guess what? What happens with rain? Rain is recycled. It's just recycled water. It comes down, right? But then it evaporates, and then it goes up into the atmosphere and it comes back again. That's life. That is life. That's what happens in this journey called life. But keep going through the storms of life and be proud of your accomplishments, whatever they are. Even if you're unemployed, even if you're having a hard time making ends meet, whatever whatever little accomplishment you might make, even in that rainy season, allow yourself to stop and smell those roses and appreciate that, you know what? In spite of all of this that's going on, you know what? I did that. With the help and grace of God, I did that. So I hope this encourages you tonight. Thank you again for tuning in to Mind the Mental Monday. Please continue to tune in every Monday, 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Facebook Live, on Instagram Live. You can catch the replays Monday evening later at by 10 o'clock Monday evenings. The episodes are up on my YouTube channel. Go subscribe so that you can see them come through. It's a free subscription, so it doesn't cost you anything to subscribe. So that's just my ask, y'all. Just subscribe. That's all I'm asking you to do. Is subscribe to the page. It's Benita Weathers 329. And that's it. That's all I'm asking tonight. All right. Oh, I also want you to engage. But even if you don't subscribe, okay? But engage, comment, let me know. Um, just let me know how, if this impacts you in any way. And, I appreciate your feedback. And some of you have been giving a lot of good feedback. So I really appreciate it. And I appreciate you. So have a wonderful rest of your week. And I will see you, Lord willing, and the creek don't rise. I'll see you next Monday, 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here. Peace and God bless. Night.